When Guild Wars 2 was released, every player with a Necromancer tried building a Minion Master. But the community as a whole kind of concluded that, well, they were not good. So we just all moved on. Years later, developers gave us the Reaper Elite spec. And it brought the two things that we needed for a Minion Master. First, the problem was that if you want to have many minions, you will have to use many minion utility skills, so it leaves very little room for creativity. And second, it lacked damage, but now we have the Reaper Shroud, which does deal damage. Unfortunately, the community had moved on already and never looked back on Minion Masters. But if you do want to see a modern Minion Master that can do the job in any kind of solo content, or sometimes soloing group content like this in Fractal, then have a look at this. So now that we have this skill that will give us up to 5 minions for just one utility slot, let's look at the perks. We'll be using Blood Magic, Death Magic and Reaper. Death Magic is the one bar with the most minion related skills. This one, for example, they have increased health, so they can tank better and they die harder. You can Carapace for each minion. Carapace will give you thoughtness. It will also give you a bit of extra life force, and it will reduce condition damage. Talking about conditions, you will have this that will transfer conditions from you to your minions, and then your minions will send them back to whoever they are attacking. Here we have a very important perk, which will also spawn 5 minions. So you will get 5 from here, 5 here, 2, 1, for a total of 13 minions. Now, Blood Magic is another story, because there's just one perk that's related to minions. This one. Siphon health. Whenever you hit a foe, minions siphon health and transfer it to you. So this will be pivotal to part of the strat that makes you really tanky. You do have extra thoughtness already, but you will gain a lot of barrier with this and the basically lifesteal strat that's in the build. Gaining health grants a proportional amount of barrier, and conversion amount increases while at full health. 100% when you're at full health. Whatever heal you receive, including from lifesteal, will be converted in barrier there. So for example, this skill steals health on the dagger. It will provide a lot of barrier, which makes it a great opener. The same thing with this one, your heal skill. You're supposed to heal with it. I mean, it's a heal skill. Well, except that when you enter fight, you can just use this, as well as the other two shouts, and then you will have thousands of health worth of barrier. You can still life here with Vampiric Presence. You can also still life with this. Every single minion will, and every shout will with this. Shouts now siphon health. Also, we'll be using double sword. Swords are great in the build because first they steal life, which will fuel the barrier, and look at this. There will be a second skill that will appear, but it will take some life away. Now, if you do have this perk we talked about, it will take that life on the barrier, so you will not actually spend life when absolutely spamming all the skills there. Also, the addition of mobility here is really a nice touch. You also have one dash here, which makes this build quite comfortable to roam with. Now, there is a problem with what I showed you here. Even though we do have a few damage perks, we don't have many. Blood Magic plus Death Magic is a very defensive choice. So what we're going to do with the equipment is try to balance this with full Zerg stats. Also, we'll use the meta DPS rune, which is the rune of the Scholar, as well as this relic, Relic of the Thief, that basically gives you plus 5% damage. When it comes to sigils, we'll go for Superior Sigil of Strength, again Might, and here. For the other sigils, you can use pretty much what you want, but this one, Superior Sigil of Blood, has great synergy with the build as it steals health. So it does deal extra damage and fuels your barrier. And we have the same one here. With Stun, Knockdown and 3 Sources of Fear, this build is also excellent against Defiance Bars. As you can see, we can here remove the Defiance Bar from the boss in the Fractal with just the Golem skill. This is a very satisfying build to play because not only do you have many minions, but you can also deal significant damage for a solo build and being very tanky at the same time. So feel free to give it a try. Every single person who has tried this build came back to me and said, yeah, that's just awesome, I loved it. And I'm not even kidding. You can check the French version of the channel and the comments under it and translate them if you don't believe me. But really, everybody loves this. So have fun, see you around.